Do you ever wonder how those ultra productive, annoyingly well put together people just seem to have it all figured out? You know who I'm talking about. That person with the glowing skin, laser sharp focus, and a life so organized it makes you question your own existence. Here's the truth no one wants to admit. Their secret isn't a new productivity hack or some viral routine. It's the power of boring habit. Yes, the totally unexciting, repetitive things that seem almost too simple to matter, but secretly change everything. If you want more real talk on how to upgrade your mindset and life with zero nonsense and maximum impact, hit subscribe now and ring the bell for the Growth Mindset Project. If you're serious about turning boring habit into full-blown transformation, you won't want to miss what's coming up. Let's start with the one habit that sounds almost too dull to mention: drinking water first thing in the morning. Yup, not coffee, not scrolling Instagram. Water. There's a reason your annoyingly energetic friend never looks tired or complains about headaches. After 8 hours with zero hydration, your body's parched. Your brain is literally shrinking. Most people wake up already in deficit mode and then wonder why they feel like trash until lunchtime. The smart move is to hydrate before you let the rest of the day happen to you. It's boring. It's basic. And it works because your body is made of water, not iced latte. The result? Energy. Clarity. Even your skin gets the memo. Let's talk about making your bed, the single most eye-rollingly mom habit out there. So many people treat it like a joke. Why bother? I'll just mess it up again tonight. But making your bed is more than about neat sheets. It's about engineering a win. You hit completion mode before 7 a.m. You teach your brain that you finish what you start. And after a rough day, you walk into a room that isn't a disaster zone. Small order creates big discipline. It's so dull, but it genuinely works. Ask any Navy SEAL. They don't do it for aesthetics. They do it because discipline compounds, and it starts with the smallest, most boring wins. Here's what most people miss. Boring habit isn't just about discipline. It's about saving you from future chaos, mentally and emotionally. Take walking after you eat. Instead of collapsing in a food coma, just leave me, I'm digesting. Try a gentle 10-minute neighborhood stroll. It stabilizes blood sugar, smooths out digestion, stops that 3-hour I'm useless slump. But most of us would rather suffer through the crash. We'd rather not look boring, right? The less thrilling option is quietly more effective for your productivity and health. Your metabolism will back me up here. Which brings us to sleep. The myth that successful people run on no rest is just that, a myth. Treating bedtime like a random suggestion and ping-ponging between late nights and desperate catch-up sleep throws your body's rhythm off a cliff. But boring people go to bed at the same time every night, even weekends. Even when something cool is happening, they treat their bedtime like church. And guess what? They wake up with energy, no snooze button violence, no caffeine mandate. Boring? Yes. Effective? Absolutely. Here's a habit that's so boring, it almost feels sad. Eating the same breakfast every morning. Sounds like culinary misery, right? But it's about beating decision fatigue before you even get started. Think about how many choices you make just to get through the first hour of your day. What to eat, what to wear, what to do first. It adds up. When you automate the simple, repetitive stuff, you leave your decision-making fuel for the things that actually move the needle. That's why high performers famously reduce these micro decisions. Their energy is spent where it matters, not in front of the fridge at 7 a.m. If you're finding this eye-opening, drop a like and leave a comment with your most painfully boring habit, or the one you know you need to start. It helps us reach more people who are ready to win with the power of boring habit. Now, let's get even more real. The ultra-boring, borderline painful act of tracking your spending. Not sexy, not fun. But there's a reason the person who always has their financial act together isn't doing mental math. They write everything down or log it in an app. Coffee, subscriptions, That 1 a.m. Why did I buy this cart? It's all accounted for, and that's what separates them from the crowd living paycheck to paycheck, not sure where the money goes. If you can stomach the boredom and the reality check, you get to wrestle back control of your finances. Ready for another unsung hero? Reading before bed. Not doom scrolling until your eyes bleed, but picking up an actual book. It's old school, and yes, so boring compared to the dopamine rush of a phone. But when you close out the day with a book, your brain gets a gentle wind down. Sleep comes easier, stress takes a vacation, and you wake up less desperate for a digital fix. But most will pick TikTok drama at 1 a.m. and then wonder why their anxiety is sky high. The boring habit works if you actually do it. Let's shout out the meal preppers, the people who spend a dull 2 hours on Sunday portioning rice into little containers. It's the ultimate boring flex. They don't stress about what's for dinner. They aren't dialing for takeout at 8 p.m. with shaky willpower and an empty fridge. Their past self did the boring work, and now, every day, they win on autopilot with money saved and health protected. Boring habit is also about real rest. No, not switching from your work laptop to your social feed, the real reset. Sometimes doing absolutely nothing, letting your mind wander, or staring out the window feels pointless. But that's exactly why it works. Your brain needs unstructured downtime to recharge. We're addicted to input and wonder why we never feel rested. Doing nothing is, ironically, the hardest, boring habit of all. There's the 5-minute tidy, every single day, 10 minutes tops. Not deep cleaning the whole house, just keeping entropy at bay. A little here, a little there, and suddenly you're not overwhelmed by a disaster zone. The person who always has a calm, neat space isn't a secret neat freak obsessed with scrubbing. They're just consistent with the most unremarkable, repeatable habits. And their environment feels like peace, not chaos. Quick reminder to hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment about which boring habit you want to commit to. It's the little click of accountability that keeps this conversation moving. Now here's the twist that most personal growth advice won't give you. The truly game-changing habits, the ones your future self quietly worships, are designed to be boring. If it's dramatic, thrilling, or new, it almost never lasts. Boring habit is the ultimate filter. Most people give up, chase excitement, or bounce after a week. But the boring routines are the glue that holds together world-class discipline, high performance, and the slow, almost invisible change that leads to massive results over time. That person you think is overnight successful. Underneath the highlight reels, their life is just one boring habit stacked on top of another, out of sight and far from impressive. If you've realized you've been chasing excitement instead of building boring, sustainable consistency, you've already unlocked the secret. Success isn't motivated. Success is repeated. Quietly. In the background. With boring habits so dull, no one would bother to copy, until it's too late and the results speak for themselves. If you want more on how boring habit leads to huge transformation, check out our next video here, and don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss an episode. Your next breakthrough is only a boring habit away.